Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things, Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. See, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Buya matinyana. Buya matinyana. Buya matinyana. Oh, buya matinyana. Yeah, so buya. Buya matinyana. Buya matinyana. Yeah. Buya matinyana. Oh, buya matinyana. Say, I call you Jireh, say. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. William Miguel, come here. 1, 2, 3. I can breathe without you, say. I can breathe without you. I can move without.
You are muted.
Happy International Women's Day. Today we celebrate all the women around the world who inspire us in so many ways, and I believe you are one of them. Happy International Women's Day. And then sumema obi biara kwa ba baby biara wo. Memo ha memo chin memo jo baby awo no ade achon na ade asan na se ewiampo a na ne nyina mede nchia kese e de bro media ne manyeti ena nso enigesem na aribia ye ba ma kwan se edu Friday si a de ahosepe ene ahokeka e de nsempa e de bremus nsem a be ma mo betu manam yi se e ba no immigration nsem mu a e ba no legal matters a baby bia obeye ade bia obetumi agina so buta bia obenya na so de ato anamo eno na edu every Thursday, Friday, any Saturday BWF Solicitors ene na asuafo nyinara omakom ho se omode bebre community no se na ebenya ho mfaso di ena nso emre ni bi ni eye Friday mene ye papa ba kom enje bia meyi ni ho edi na ye di ensem dede a edi bebre mu megide se unkọ baby a obeka ye ho na fitiase ya kwawie ye no na wenya wo chefa wo media ne manyeti mpacho betwa me ho simape meba sisia na afa ye di dwumedie no ahyase.
Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced family law firm specializing in immigration and naturalization, as well as dispute resolution. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner with over 30 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stand for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity and inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance across all areas of UK and Ghana law. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Led by experienced senior partner Bernard Owusu, the team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with your immigration, naturalization, dispute resolution, family law, new wills and probate, Ghana law and practice needs. We are dedicated to providing solutions to our clients' problems. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Main office line 0208 493 7340 or our emergency line 07712 761 884. Our private client services team is recognized for providing clear and practical legal advice to our clients in the United Kingdom and Ghana. Expert help with will writing, probate or estate administration. Our will writers and probate lawyers can act for you to obtain grant of probate and carry out estate administration on your behalf. The probate takes place after someone dies. If there's a will, the named executor is responsible for ensuring that the estate of the deceased is secured, assessing its value and paying any inheritance tax. If there is no will, the intestate and inheritance rules require similar responsibilities. Our lawyers offer strategic and practical solutions to the issues which clients face, whether it's in relation to succession planning, will preparation, probate and the administration of estates, immigration and visas, contentious family or probate disputes, administering estates often with inheritance cross-border issues, international trust advice including residence, domicile issues, wealth preservation, a fast, efficient service from SRA-regulated professionals, transparent pricing. BWF Solicitors, let us take care of probate. Let us take care of probate.
Yo, mema obi biara kwa ba biom. Ankrankran bi a ohwe ye anope yi mema wakwa ba. Me nua ma egu fidie so. Kankan ye nua ba Tiliduma, Margaret Du Jemfi, ye kan say Sarah Ponzo, set Ikea Enima, Nana Sapoma, Ohima, Nana Ama, Betty, Linda Adai. Just say me bobodi na ye nyemfi ha na me mo bibia happy Women's Day. Me de samoba so a anamahye de amaye BWF Solicitors edwumedie na ye de bremu se wo hwehwe BWF Solicitors e kira kwan a address no etwegu o mase ubehu se ne nyina wo ho ene even emergency number obetumi de akohonom ne nyinara wo ho ye be sha ase em se emre no ko enti no me sha ase wa ha na ma introduce me resource person no onya ba so a odinchi akese bedi kan e de amamu nyina na afi de me de adwumedie no ato aso nti me mamu nyina akwa ba ye resource person na ye papa ba ko ye nua be ma ba ko sisi ade o trend be bia no other person than ye papa lawyer Charles Asmah pacho me ma akwa ba bra Charles.
Your sister, Manye Ten.
Me ma akwanya adom me ho ye me ma akwanya na odinchi akese ametiefo na ahwefo na afi de ne me won na ma start e de etudwane yakoye nim.
You're a tear for for and if you're that and pay and so I saw Yamiani say, dear. Thank you very much for coming. Additional and a bear come because a bebwa bebre didn't check and see a bro if you BWF Solicitor Australia from Uncle Ben to everybody in the BWF family. I can say, I mean, sure, and suffer wunya na onusu metie bi na nyina empowered to enjoy our stay in the UK and baby I will be
Yo, medasi lawyer Charles, medasi papa. It's a for munya baso amon share ne more do a more de because ye be program no. Say I am bia uhu eti ewo baby abomodi ana fre ne bep to me aboa wa kwan bia so. Yo, ena enkosen. Ni enimu ni say eya na yebo domestic violence a ye nyina ya adwen ekọ emma na eye most of the time victims fall into such incidents. Na ampanso uhwe calculate in terms of percentage a utime hu say emma ankokra ma be 80-85% of women and na suffer domestic violence. Na statistics enso edi ho adanse emema kakra suffer domestic violence ene enkwala nso no wohwa nkwala de memfa nka ema ne mema warefo titiri mu de meyi nkwala na firi mu ansa nkwala nso ka ho omo nso mo go through but meyi in this in case no meyi nkwala firi mu na me de oba ne obema awarefo titiri violence ekoso ewo mfie. Na ne atie ne se me ka mama na na akoye ema day ye oba yesi oba so it doesn't matter so ye mame say wo ye oba tan yesi oba women until we are celebrating all women around the world. Edwuma bia wo ye bia eso eni oba edwuma bia wo ye bia eso eni na mom se ba ware mu a eto de bia na nsemsem ntokwa nyoma nketenkete na ewura aware ni mom ena ansa na sebio obema nso ebe violate anase obeye violence towards oba no na ni nyina kowie ye ka ne se ebufuhyew ene suban ene e ka ho emema ne bi ewo saa suban kakra no ato ne nsa abo oba kakra no eyi oba kakra no didi na tam ema ne bema ne bi wo saa suban sanso na etore bi ana akoma ye ka ne se ebufuhyew na oba no so unka wanu ntum na ne gegegege na obema ne de ebufuo no abom na ye koyenim dabi ene ye beka domestic violence se esi wa aware mu esi wo fie se esi wo relationship mu esi wo partnership mu ni nyina ene ye beka ho asem na ne ebehu ne se embra home office for start say o ye de emma e can say care workers, especially care workers skill migrant roots ya eba ya ye asesa care workers majority abegu krom ha ne omukunum dodro na de omukunum ne omno yere mu na eba ye sanso na ye behu a ye nkrom de ukọ school anasa ube school abrochi a ne behia se wo yere beka ho na ukunu beka ho se ne be ya ukọ school no mo so mo ye adwuma kakra e de boa na ni nyina mu no ya na sikasem akoye tare sikasem so ba de enibre nso ba na kire se oba nto ne nsa obema eto ne nsa oba ndi atem didi a na obema nso di atem didi na kire se violence ne moa na ekọ. When we talk of domestic violence and lawyer ba be kire mu ba o de men kan men peninsam kakra minim domestic violence and no kire se obema na oba ato nsa aba nko a. We have so many aspects of violence ekọ so obi mema one example pe emotional cry obi to me cause so violence your emotional circumstance mo na kire se u be fie cry na we yem hihie no na kire se o de areho na nyina emotional blackmail e ka domestic violence no na mom enani eba be gina so no you see the new domestic violence provisions for especially students and care workers dependent spouses muntie ni you new provision aba say we go through such violence mono especially na ebe focus on students any care workers or more dependents ya ene say ochenachi say obi kra ne kunu ni yire ti ho student and care worker omo ho onim say we na ye main applicant sorry I'll say ho we ya mejaw say na be ya onkrata be say me say ene unni baby akra bo modern stay wa ha na fra unu ebi fra wadanfo bi se na topic aye ba be kire no ebe bua nkro bebre se ukom se unkom me de me na me ka me se ebe bua wo kwan bi so enti fra nkrofo no mo bra se ene topic na aye de aba no sambua okra na enfra manyeti enti me tonsa afrele lawyer penny lawyer Asmah na membisa nimfua ayembia ansa na yebekọ we nsumpo no se ye kan say update kitu ebi wo ho a obetumi de ama na se bi ni ho nso a metu akonya na ama no no nkyere ye ka domestic violence kra ene ne de ade ansa ne aba provision aban eye home office na UK aban e de ato ho ama omo ye student ye nim uye student wo krom a age a wo de ye student say school be na wo ko primary school and secondary school and university or see ye hu ena fe wo dependent ye ka dependent na bia na wo yere ne wo ma ana wo kunu ne wo ma eno nso mema lawyer Asmah a cheche sa categories nyina se ne be ya ye fa case by case no ya tiasie ye na fe ya to hu anamo lawyer Asmah wo de mesato nsa afra obium na cheche ye ka domestic violence ne kra na eno ni ade ben eno eden say netie ana akoye domestic violence mpacho cheche ye mu
Yo, etiefo ne ahwefo and then so yeshia. Na yaka se ode yenchiche words no emu anase kasefo no yembie biemu. Edi kan yase domestic. And I also say violence. Domestic ne se ifie. Violence ye atete. Nti ifie atete a eha se bema anase oba. Nti betumi abesa ye bema no na otete oba no anase oba no na otete bema no. Bebi ebefi baba bia no ya atete no bi. Na efa different baby na eba. Betumi abesa atete no efa sikasam enho. Betumi abesa atete no efa ayakayaka de enho. Esa atete no efa atemdidie enho. Esa atete no efa de bia no na nimpa no eka wanim say wo de we are worthless, wo de we are useless, wo de wo de say adana wonti say ni nyina no atete anase violence a esi ewo efie no ebi word ba kwa provision say abrofo eyisu no as almost friend of abuse nti na sa atete no say efi be ma ho na say efi oba ho no aya na ha nipa no a ye de do fa sa ekwan no eso no ekele anase ekunu sunsun na ema nipa no ema ne na ama nipa no enya energy ewo ifie no mu anase aware no mu anase abrabo. You are muted. You are muted. Maya, you are muted.
Our private client services team is recognized for providing clear and practical legal advice to our clients in the United Kingdom and Ghana. Expert help with will writing, probate, or estate administration. Our will writers and probate lawyers can act for you to obtain grant of probate and carry out estate administration on your behalf. The probate takes place after someone dies. If there's a will, the named executor is responsible for ensuring that the estate of the deceased is secured, assessing its value and paying any inheritance tax. If there is no will, the interstate and inheritance rules require similar responsibilities. Our lawyers offer strategic and practical solutions to the issues which clients face, whether it's in relation to succession planning, will preparation, probate and the administration of estates, immigration and visas, contentious family or probate disputes, administering estates often with inheritance cross-border issues, international trust advice including residence, domicile issues, wealth preservation, a fast, efficient service from SRA-regulated professionals, transparent pricing. BWF Solicitors, let us take care of probate.
for Monfan Chairman Nami screen na bibi. Yo, near Tiani said last mommy that's what church domestic and the violence. Into you the difference between the two. Yeah, that's it. Se si ano, sa tete na you come no. Eye efie atete when we say domestic what church mama efie atete na enipa mienu ana nipa baako ekom ewo fie no yemfa nko yesi aban no ama nhihye eye hihye foforo because aban na tena se ehu se Debbie bia na say reporter yeti ewo lawyers omo ye can say intelligence omo couple information edema home office no omo ehun say majority community no ni obeti an say violence domestic violence say edibua o say edimbua o nti abana tena se home office atena se ehun say Debbie tani ani omo ekono emwa ebinom titru dodo na ebegum for the past 4 years embo mokra enti no omanya atenka na through some of petitions na ade nso a akụkọ okosoi omatie na omosi Debbie yemfa nhihye ento ho emasa nkrofo ya go through such you can say problems imo enti na ye ba be can the new provision yama for domestic violence victims students any care workers dependent no eno na ye ka me nua adofo wo a waba so mesre obomode na frobi tili me da se papa me hu se obi di Frankie Barnett mpamocho mon block ne ma me kakra why ene udi rough ye be block you enya ha na eba betan de we are talking about legal matters here into mon block is ani pa ne ma me kakra na ya koso ya koyenim no sisi a lawyer Asmah eba ne sen na aban say odem hihye foforo ebeto e de ama student for because yenim say ye won hihye bi dada wo ho a omo ko domestic violence ma victim omo ye domestic violence for no omo fem na obi be see ye de ma on krata me kan krata bi mu na ye de settle omo e wa ha bi mu na akomo omo baabi bi mu kra na akomo omo refugee kan say nye refugee ye kan shelter ni akomo mo shelter na ye say ye ni omo asie owo mo kunu no na omo yire no a omo bubu na omo tete omo ewo fie na ye sin hihye foforo nti hihye foforo no eno etisen lawyer Asmah
Yo na me da se bebre tiefo ne ahwafo sene ayenim no aban for the past year there have been a series of changes and they come fast. Almost every month we see a change. Now one of the changes by domestic violence provisions na no dadano eho. Now we know about 31st of January 2024. 31st of January 2024. I have found appendix victim of domestic abuse. Appendix victim of domestic abuse. And this version 16. So we share bodies who are who say this is the policy guidance advocacy for yade omodiama workers say use so be your application one. Nti we share data by this was published just last month, 31st of January 2024. No more publish here, and I can say from 1st of to 31st of January, so 1st of February, I started say a year a Jumabesi and then a womb near a woman no a far near na hodada and the new ones are omode account. Now near hodada no a domestic violence concession or domestic abuse concession for Kofwa or Mukwasa atiti no emu. Ubi wakofa ne hokafo efi amanoni aba. So be man no kofa oba no anase oba no kofa be man no. Most of the time no you can say we you can straight say man no mo victims. But sometimes men man so tutumi ye victims e man ye. Enti say we be man na wuti a we nso ekọ ema wo. So betumi the application atum e man na ye because it is both. Now me na can say e bia na bema no na okofa oba no anase oba no na okofa bema no it doesn't really matter na nia ekosi ne se ese se ono na okofa ade nti anase wa ye ade no ema no nti anase wa agi na atene mu nti o feel se o control bi ewo ne so ai me na maboa o you've been ungrateful or you've been that enyame anka say sa nyoma no ekoso no empo bia na nimpa no mfa ne sa embo but ɛma wo go through emotional stress nti ni nso ɛka ɛho abi na ɛno no yɛ nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo akɔfa ɔmo yere anasɛ ɔmo kunum aba so nipa no wɔ settled status anasɛ British citizenship na wakɔfa n'aba na ɔbaayɛ no odi n'ani anasɛ ɔviolate in one way or the other sɛnea yɛakyerɛ mu no ɔteetee no na nea akɔba no sɛ okay wo deɛ yɛbɛhwɛ wadeɛ no wu a yɛbɛhwɛ sɛ hwan na ɔbɛ renew ama wo make sure sɛ yɛde wobɛkɔ back to kurom sɛ ɛyɛ Afghanistan sɛ ɛyɛ Ghana ɛyɛ wherever I will make sure sɛ yɛde wobɛkɔ back ebi mu koraa tumi ka sɛ mɛfrɛ fekasi mu aka kyerɛ wɔn sɛ yɛni hɔ biem nti sei wei ne nyinaa no ɛyɛ blackmail a yɛ nkurɔfoɔ ɛyusu ɛde ɛtete ɔmo a ɔmo de ɔmo nkrataa anasɛ ɔmo a ɔmo aware wɔn na ɔmo de ɔmo nkrataa akata ɔmo so no na old law no sɛ wokɔ saa atete no mu a wotumi ɛma aban ehu nea wokɔ mu na ɔmo aban ama wo 3 months transfer of leave transfer no sɛ yɛyi fi wokunu anasɛ wɔyere no a wohyɛ n'ase no na aban ama wo independent leave a yɛfrɛ no 3 months domestic violence concession yɛde ma wo wie a wotumi yɛ application anasɛ aban no koraa tumi ɛboa wo sɛ kɔgye aban esika a yɛfrɛ no public fund wotumi gye benefit because nipa no a ɔde wo baeɛ na ɔhwɛ wo nti ɔse ɔmboa wo bi mu a na kyerɛ sɛ visa no ayɛ aba at risk at the same time wedidie nso bɛyɛ den nti aban ma wo 3 months na aban bɛhwɛ sɛ wobɛdidi plus mma a wo ne ɔmo ɛwɔ hɔ no nyinaa a ɔmo nyinaa da 2.5 so no from there no wobɛyɛ application for indefinite leave to remain nti saafoɔ no deɛ ɔmo wɔ fast track to settlement nti esi ya wo de application to mu a na ama 3 months na wakɔyɛ indefinite no na afi deɛ when your settlement na kyerɛ sɛ sisi a no wote wase wohia bɛrima no a ɔtete wo no anasɛ ɔbaa no a ɔtete wo no ebiem but before that we go through the steps because there are eligibility requirements as I say we meet and as our requirement you know na wotumi meet a una who claim say you are going through domestic violence you have to prove it unfortunately or fortunately you have to prove your case so wotumi prove your case there na aban etie na with the evidence na to ho na yama indefinite and then yeah na ɛwɔ hɔ dada na abaka ho no say so we go to a funny saying policy na ɛbaeɛ no policy na ɛbaeɛ no a yɛfrɛ no appendix victim of domestic abuse no now all can say saafoɔ no extending no akava students and migrant workers at the same time so no extending no to cover overseas partners and I say spouses abandon one because of the same treatment you know obi ma odo akọ bia akọ holiday no azu ni bibi okra no menu me ho nti me meja wa ha say na chere say nipa no has been abandoned nti policy we no covers those people as well I find no transnational concession for domestic and as victims of domestic violence na your core eligibility no a edi kan sɛ na mekyerɛ mu no student foɔ ɛwɔ hɔ ɛna mo a ɔmo yɛ regular 2.5 under 5-year-old or family life spouses for nso ɛwɔ hɔ na yɛwɔ skilled workers and as migrant workers for nso ɛdeɛ ɛwɔ hɔ na expansion no akaba saafoɔ yi na woyɛ student na wone wukunu na ɛwɔ UK wukunu na kɔfa wo baeɛ nti students we are dependent of that student you know obaye you are going through near Yabubosui at a TB air coso. A bias is an idea, dear. So, would you me pay Muka? About 3 months. About 3 months. 3 months, no, they can't then. Would the ebebo wo bra more or less, would the bepe BB aye. So, 3 months near the Mawa, you don't need now, that's so as a student dependent, ABU. While when you're with 3 months. But 3 months, omo dada no, especially omo your partners and appendix FM. Omo your armed forces partners near adia no. Saa for no de na your man 3 months omutumi ekọ omonim enya indefinite. But students for any skilled workers for ne de omuntumi enko indefinite leave to remain. The moment yen share ehọ no enso. See, I know your friend with destitution, domestic violence concession. Into destitution, domestic violence concession, cover students, part dependents. Because a dependent, I'm not talking about Nkwalano, Nembum, say spouses, some Okunu, and Nessa or Yereno. But of course, some Nkwalawum, and my Bemano, or Nkwalano, maame no nyina eba ya dia sa maame no kwa nanim because of that obetumi so agi ama nkwala no ba no 3 months obi be sasa na adanti na aban ema 3 months na oma sanfo no so indefinite leave to remain. There's something called floodgate na aban de bia the policy eba or try say ombie sa gate wide eba affect oman no. So we be ni kakra 3 months. The bomb pile say in the future no be wider so that you can even get more than 3 months to survive. It is only 3 months now be say we finding alternative means to switch from your no to something else. So per se what's mu after 3 months now. So 3 months no so no we betumi agi aban emboa aye friend no public fund access no ubetumi agibi yabo bibi so a your friend no transnational domestic violence and as abandonment nti wey for no ye won a ye no akọ holiday e wo mu krom na ye gya wo ho na be ma no anasa oba no adane ne ho abetena UK na we gya the other party no e wo ho. There's case a court case of AM no ayo bidding and for confidentiality ninti nipa no ewo anonymity nti nyanyima ne say AM ni Secretary of State enya asam nti mra no amudi asam no ewie 2022 na be ya emra na we kan say wo ware obi na wo de ne call holiday ewo mu krom na wo kogya no ho na wo ba na wo say bye bye bobra or member found maybe more or see you have abandoned that person. Signing panu betumi aya application ewo oman no mu e de back under this provision aban introduce ti yekoye nim no e bekoso esua.
Yo Asmah yedasi na kire se ne etie bia na aban no oya na we bie mpuma ne kakra se ne be ya obi antu nhyem hu ti se ne ke de kafo de ba ya obi atutu hyem hwi ensesi a we bie kwan kakra no o kan say the last bit now can I me dem more questions kakra but me hwe last bit now can say embia na wone ukunu ti krom ha UK so ye student and ye care worker na insemsem esimuntem insemsem simuntem no ahweda nyunyan bi adada o say oh mo ko holiday keke no ma san ba na mo ko ya na say ye fio say ye krofufro so a obehu anu ahweda embikra no the passport just to enable you travel back no the see and also no the aba na say na anase bibi na o say minu ejai minu tungwanta ya pai emba onya miribia na say me wo amenja o na nso no beka me ho wa ha biemu a o say no utumi gina so na o apply wo krona wo mu no na wo di aye application na obey no the application also no you remember us 3 months they be and I say no a different kakrampa cho.
Oh, you share case law no
Mhm.
MBA a kwan ama saafo no a saa nkrofo no a yamo won 2.5 na omwa ha na afide ye ko holiday aba na ye
Okay.
kugya won ho no saa nipa no be application to return under this provision ye de atu edwa no eno na nipa no of course emrane say application was under appendix FM family life no and as family migration so and the ubetumi escalate to indefinite leave to remain. But let's go to page 16. Let's start from the top. Also eligibility to be able to apply for settlement. So the person will be baby program way now what kind of baby say lawyer say after there will be student for crab with settlement. No. So that's why we are reading it together. To be eligible to apply for settlement, an applicant must have or have last been granted permission as one of the following. Inti so obetumi akọ settlement this wa I just say who you be a woyɛ application kane no a aho akoba nsensem because of domestic violence no woyɛ no under appendix FM except for permission as a fiancé for no de omoba to marry before they apply to remain with their spouses. So if you came as a fiancé, then this will not apply to you. But if you came as a spouse with the intention to settle, near amount 2.5, now by year 2.5 later, now when you're 5 years, no settle, now we are kwaba. You qualify for settlement now. We need that to send ubenyano. The next group, no, a partner under appendix FM part 11. Here we are looking at appendix family reunion. We are protection a woman man crofwa or more refugee status. Until we are refugee for no. And they were partner of a person present and settled in the UK. We are more indefinite leave to remain no partners no. And I were a victim of domestic abuse under appendix FM general ones now your boss so no. You can see that there are different categories. They might be similar but differences. Into victim of domestic abuse under appendix FM will be occupied 2.5. No so ebi. A partner under appendix armed forces. We are armed forces for mono and then so mukunu except say nipa no eba say oba bawari under the fiancé visa no or qualify for settlement. There are some criteria and last one is very very important and then I'm going to say it's for for a so na mom is kotu near yekano and then I say somebody granted leave outside the rules granted under the Migrant Victims of Domestic Abuse Concession, formerly known as Destitution Domestic Violence Concession. Nti obi mo a yamano sa akwenya no yewo policy bi a yefra no leave outside the rules. Leave outside the rules. The leave outside the rules policy. Ene na nkrofo gina so obi mo waba visit okoye extension obaya no under leave outside the rules policy. Obi mo waba bibi ekwesi opese oye bibi fan application no obaya no leave outside the rules policy. Application bi a meyema obi nipa no diplomat partner. Diplomat for no your man visas, they are exempt persons. Nti passport na yede ba ma won no visa na ebom no ya cho no exempt. Nti ono ohia visa. Ono nso or visa. So what sort of visa is that? It's really nothing. Ena ne partner no ode ne buy no ono ye diplomat. Was serve UK we nti wa transfer no akwa another country. Ena family no because of nkwala school ni ade nti omuntumi nkọ oman foforo so nti omo de omo aka ha meanwhile visa no a omo do wo no exempt visa because of omo diplomat family member no a omujina no sunya no, they want to remain. So the application I did was private life, but with the view to be granted leave outside the rules, because omundi 20 years to Okromha. So on what basis? So we had to then go into the argument using leave outside the rules, concessions, and provisions. So that is an example. To live outside the rules, for sa nkrofo a go through domestic violence, or say, and the person had been immediately before we na ebesi granted permission under one of the above. Nti if I say wo na wo 2.5, na sa issue aba na wa switch akọ sa category way so the amount 3 months. Can you escalate it? You can if you were first granted leave under one of the above. We are student, so you can't be under appendix FM. You be under appendix student. We are skilled worker. You cannot be under appendix FM or appendix armed forces. You be under appendix skilled worker migrant. Sanetia there, your leave before sa assembly ABC mayabama 3 months was not one of the above. So can you go for escalation or a jump to indefinite? No. The moment I can say indefinite war for domestic violence victims, but only for nkrofo or qualify, and yet for students, ne skilled workers are yes, mo 3 months. Na mo function mo how far? Na mo to me NG aban emboa. So 3 months, the question is what can you do? You have to be smarter to use it wisely.
Okay, yo, Asmah, ye better see ye watch it, Musen Ebeya, yenya information eba no, yenya misunderstanding, ewo ho entity one man na ye claim, de amaya ensem. This particular one na ye canon is only for students, any care workers, no, or more dependent one sem ne can't say, oh, MBA 2.5, and now any other status so. Wona the you can say domestic violence na be lead to settlement no, but was some ade we so no student ne kan de ye say be ma bosume miensa na wo de ahwe wo how far sesi a ye nhwe bosume miensa emre ne komo ba bosume miensa na me de be hwe me how far answer na ye be ma bosume miensa no sesi a tiefo se mu tie na mu hwe ya ye nyanya entiase ewo ye can say domestic any violence ya tiase nyoma chere say you are a victim and also yakike bia nye ebronko a atemdidie ka ho ayemhihie ka ho nyoma bebre ekeka ka ho a woni wukunu ana woni wumpra ana wo yire ana obi be dependent on ye can say student ana say care workers so no na ubefie mpo ubefie na oyam hihyew because ukunu wo ho ana dependent no wo ho ne o depend on so no owo ho a wo be nyina chese wunyanka wo mbefie ene saa nyoma no ye ka domestic violence in fact esun ye enye se obronko a ya cheche no nso ase afenso no ya kan ya ye gina so for students no ya kan ya ye gina so nso for care workers no ya kan nyoma obeye sisia no lawyer o say aban no eba ne saa na aban ne be ma me bosumi miensa na ansa na aban be ma bosumi miensa ne kra no meye den akoye saa application no ansana menya saa busum miensa na afi busum miensa no de na metumi ede aye na afi de mebie telephone lines no ametie for no mo bise bise mo question patcho adaroma
Yo that's a bebre na senya ye kire mu no enye careful enko enye careful enko workers, skilled migrants. Nti say wo dey aye care, wo dey aye teaching, whatever industry it is. Insofar as say o partner no kofa wo eba because ono no wo ade no so na we dependent of sa skilled worker no. Nti we are not focusing on care because it's not limited to carers. It's limited to or open to all migrant workers dependent. And so now, proof. how do you prove say you are a victim of domestic violence? We have psychological, we have emotional, we have physical, financial, sexual, or what have you. But the point in is there are certain aspects you have to show say this is the case. Until so be ba yenfa nia wo ho the dano kra enye example. Obi ba beka say lawyer me pese me my application because me kuna ode me ba no or say on ye ma me biem de bia wo breso a ye behwe wo visa no wu a ye behwe wo de ye be boni friend blackmail. Oh yes sir, oh yes sir, oh yes sir. As I say, would the evidence best assign a air coso? Nti would report bɛn na ɛbɛba kyerɛ sɛ ampa wo experiences saa adeɛ no bi a wama wo GP ayɛ awɛ nti sɛ GP ayɛ awɛ a GP bɛma wo saa report no anasa medical report no ɛna impact a ade abrɛ wo it could be say as a result of that you are going through anxiety and depression or treatment so evidence one report to ama charities ebua either say bema and I say oba yes so we bema your men's refuge your we oba so your women's refuge for also your shelter for shelter for no charity omoboa nkofo omo sleep rough and I say omuni baby eda shelter charity no omo adwuma omo ye eno no church community ne ade. So what step have you taken would the ebenya emwa because bema no and I say oba no say omwa obiem mwa ben na we siki say medical help, psychological help, counseling, what have you. Mwa ben na we siki. Until you're enough to say oh, na kosu enini enti I want to do this. As I say, we deal with evidence no eba. As I say, we deal with statement and so Emma lawyer no. And I say, so why na we your application? Why we better with statement? With statement in any story no, and the story should be corroborated. Corroboration is say wo bibi a ebedi adanse say na wo kan no saa na etie. The GP report no corroborative evidence. Bi a wa report ama police, but you did not press any charge. And also who police report number. These days, police will not give you any because omun ehu say nkrofo bebre efasa ekwan so for whatever reason. But all the answer over report to, then you have date and time you reported. Some of my reference are fine. Some of my references are sometimes because a serious maternity, the police will give you a note to confirm say it's been reported. So can nina ebomua when you evidence say na ekosu no nie ebi kura na ya physical. Say physical there e be as a result of violence when you GBH and I say ABH. GBH grievous bodily harm. It's a criminal offense for those who do it. And ABH actual bodily harm. What's the difference? Remember example. What bomasum? When sa and I would come maso me and say my phone me cheek. And then you can say what bomasum. Two things can happen. And I say mark ebadaho and I say nothing will be there. Some mark ebadaho and I say minya serious injury. Then the harm has become grievous. And your friend grievous bodily harm no. And there were actual bodily harm. Actual bodily harm no, of course. Sometimes you are not marking that whole but and yet that's serious. But it has happened. And you see example. Ubi man is so serious. And you be a cat to cry and say bruises and say a wound. There are instances and Crawford pictures babano. Now a so severe say how will anybody in his or her right sense may you say to another human being? Ti ya kani nyina bomu a Say a son is there, you have the picture no to show say it be a Nipano ball, a piano, you say whatever. There was one case that Nipano was able to prove some bruises are okomu to corroborate in the story no or the evidence by Emma ya de ka ni application document no ehun ekoye Emma unya the settlement for that time no. And you have to prove your case. Say we say what you know and your physical and psychological counseling ben in a we receive be a work camps for mental health checkup counseling and treatment say your maltreatment or report and also evidence ni nyina no ye ka bomu a ye betumi approve case say ampa nya esi ye no it wasn't physical but emotional. There are even instances of bullying. Nti ni nyinaa no create violence ɛwɔ efie no emu. And because domestic no nti na yɛ limit no to efie efie ɛdeɛ no emu no. Nti sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ wɔ application no yɛ ama 3 months saafoɔ no deɛ a ɛsɛ sɛ wode saa nneɛma nyinaa ɛka wɔ application no ho na wode kɔkyerɛ aban sɛ nea meka no ɛyɛ nokorɛ. Nti mungyina so na momma me 3 months na memfa nhwɛ me how far.
Yo, lawyer Asmah here does sa dear friend domestic violence and so dear also obo na just say nyoma wo mu ankasa na wa kyerɛkyerɛ yɛm kwan a ebetumi nya evidence and yes say wo de wa no keke kwa catch home office for say I'm a victim of a domestic violence no mesrɛ mo mama me 3 months ni bi na me so me mfa hwɛ me how far there be na mom you have to prove with all these things near kyerɛ na ubo udi kambo police for no say report ubeko police no awoka say ampa me kunu abo masoma na say waye mbibi na say ya na mma no bebre mu suro ye lo asma umbeko police station na ehu ankasa kra sa che omo say obesan abefie no ye besan abo na aka ho enti na ne or the ashene we've witnessed a whole lot of cases for afa sa domestic violence kra omo de akọ owuo mo enti entnasi kitwa bia enso entnasi na onye sa na onfe wu ana ye board akro entu ba bia na obehu a wudi mu sa na odi wu mentnasi ubetumi akọ se ukọ police station na say kromo ma report na they refer you to because your organization purposely they look into this domestic violence no until you victim obehu ye be ma ye until mbe go further to do a little bit assessment. This say uko bibi musa na your first point of contact ebia ya bob dakra na say we pian mo akwhwe form na say bibia now the call police station say uko report na and now the code GP krana there are referrals ewo ho ye be ma na ya ma special ye kan say nkrofo a o me take you through counseling na ebisa ye go further assessment na omutumi ehu baby a ugina se ne a affect ne ade nti misrem mamo nsuro so be ko such situation mamo nsuro kram ogbomode anonto anamo ogbomode anonto anamo se si e ba behwe me na kwa na kwa be ba behwe 3 months na ye de amount no say in case we go through all this process now fame home office say okay ye hu say ampa who go through sa animal memo because the evidence nyina akire yama 3 months 3 months no lawyer Asmah eden na obetumi eden na obetumi agina sa 3 months ne so na wodi aye na wonso wo ho asensen wa na wenya fa ho di ewo kromu ampacho obetumi akire ya be me de pa
Yo no say as a result of na wokomu no obviously one ma ban ehu say your marriage the marriage is invariably broken down and it is unlikely to be retrieved. And if it is broken down irretrievably, there is no divorce yet, but there's potential separation from what we see, from the fact. There's potential separation. So sana tia dia obi baby said make me akoware foforo ana wo emrade say before ba ware foforo na this way gi aware And the overware for is contentious. I cannot give you information on authority until I'll pause on that. Say, which now wire for within 3 months, and I say, which wire for within 3 months, because 3 months is not enough to divorce and marry within that because of the process involved in divorce proceedings, So what can you do? You will live outside the rules, policy, and I say provision. So I was first granted leave as dependent of a student, or granted leave as dependent of a skilled worker. And in the course of the period, I went through domestic violence. Na sana akoba dia aban ama me 3 months. 3 months no ebewu nti mesre aban say omma me foforo. This time no, not on anything, but be the private life. Under appendix private life, there are 2 parts to paragraph 5.1, PL 5.1. Part A, say 20 years in the UK. B, 5.1b, or say less than 20 years in the UK, but with insurmountable obstacle. That means, wundi 20 years, but say kasa ya do ko kromu a bia bibi bato. So imagine say nimpa ya within the story abe sasana all can there. Now young fans say we go through psychological trauma or counseling or yes say or you treating for depression. Ne ne akeka ho a or the antidepressant so ne ade okonu krom a will this treatment be available? So treatment no available there na just say oh more or less na we can say nipa no nko useless, can even affect in life, which can lead to loss of life. So there, can you apply under paragraph PL 5.1b of appendix private life? I will say potentially. It's a matter of argument. I will be put forward, Enti put argument, forward. Na aban etie. That is one way of migrating.
Yeah, hey, lawyer for the money, my dear. Hey, let's just say you have to really argue your case in Senior Bayer. Say PL 5.1b, PL 5.1b, no. Ube to me argue case ni ye pa na say ye to me am inti sa instances now the Becky can't come home. Say nipa no ye jano oba krum ha wabenya fa hode kakra wa ha afa ye ofre ni krom nso ba no ne enim so ye nipa tituru bi a afa waba abroche na ye nim se abroche de esesa wo kọ eyie mu ensesa wo emba wechi na ye bete no ye se wenya depression kra yen krom depression ye se wabodam yen krom depression no sa na ye so wabodam okọ abroche wakọ de about all this stigma no ebeka wo ho se yen fa wo nkofie lawyers no be gina case ne so aye case ama neoma aye yie lawyer Asmah yeah that's wo honom enti dey say ne etie bia bibi ka wo ho a lawyers no betumi anase wo situation na wo mu no ye betumi agina bibi so na ye de twetwa gya agyew e wo sa 3 months de no ma bebre beba na lawyer Asmah ye ka 3 months no bebre beba na afenso no say ye wo case mbia wa fa eminenti me rashi kakra wa fa sa 3 months no wa yes sa application ya make can be a gina sa 5 PL 5.1b ni so ne e dia ye na ye nso ye ma ye memfa oba na dia me se ye wo ma so women so ye mfa sa oba na will go through domestic violence na ukunu ana unipa ne wo wa tete wa ma we you oba uba kra we you nyo megufie we union megufie evidence bibi a trese ampa ubefie no we union megufie na o union megufie oko hu asorefo anasa wadanfofo omonyina betime dia dance se ampa papa na ye use aye use nanse nkra matro statement ama obisa Why you say? Now almost when you evidence or work or GP, why be when you say 3 months, and I say why you say 3 month application, no, ye nyam farmer. Ni obe one within 1 month, ya, ukwa kosu obi so. Meka osu obi so, yen na him cry on my shoulders. Now, we sure be maybe. Wo lori kwan so nia wo sun di atete wo ye na o si o enye hwe wo de ukunu abo abra metumi ama one or two place na wada da ba ko da mienu bi na wo de ahwe ne obetumi aye unwe ani se santan bibi akoso ma nyensen aba Asmah wo ukunu na abo na we fi ne fie wo say me obi ama me baby na me fan separate me ho kakra o me kunu nchen me hu an se me nipa kro no afanyinsen we de ye by accident me hu an 1 month no se me nyim me nim se enye me kunu na enyensen me ye case bi kakra me nim se be fa na se mfa na afei wa unim se wo kunu na enyim o na wo so nim se obema foforo na enyim o wo twa wo case ya ma 3 months no enyamba afede we hu say yefru no eba ana se we yes application now within few days na home office for ma 3 months na etumeche na se hu say backlog nti application e bi check akra na ana sempo waye ne ama 3 months na wo dey hwe wo how far no within 3 months na wo ya ekwa kowu na afe wasa akobisa say ye ma wo emre kakra na fa ye bibi due to insurmountable circumstances awo mu no na nyensen aba nyensen na eba nipa kunu a one ne nyensen bia no won krata Asmah menim say case am create is real to me see but say e bi esi that dey menim but real ebetumi esi e ma ye sugu mema so de do so be hu an na o ma hye nyensen mbacho ubetumi aye bibi wo ho.
I mean, yeah, I know what you are thinking.
Mhm.
So I can respond to your thoughts.
Mate.
Now, a woman is nipa no a sa victim of domestic violence na we fifie no na wenya good Samaritan na aboa no na during that period no wanyem no we are not really interested in who impregnated her anyway.
Okay.
We want to trace the child to the father.
Okay.
Then we can ascertain akwalani status.
Sir.
Yeah, I just say my minister betumi nye bibi ewom da achi bia.
Okay.
What is the position? The legal position. Nipa no within 3 months no na say time or go through violence no. Unja aware.
Okay.
Possibly.
All right.
Because any possible say that period na dream kra no ewo treatment so and support so no. E ma na dream so ko ja aware.
Sir.
And a possible say or go through some violence no. 1 month 3 months there but unja nuku no a ode ne baaye no.
Yate.
And as a bear man so a unja oba no, but of course because of you saying part ninty it cannot be Burma unless extreme Burma. And it's possibly say a oba.
Sir.
Now, time because I'm not omunja aware no. The law is this that if you at the time of birth, so what warrior akwala no papa eye nia oche aware na se no anase nia wo na aware no
sanity
say mo fight and say mo yeah whatever misunderstanding. That is not the point. The point is legally who is the father of the child. The policy guidance I can asemi does not stretch to cover paternity and maternity in that instance.
Okay.
And therefore it is the default position.
Okay.
The legal father of the child is the one married to the mother of the child at the birth of the child. Inti ya wa kwalai. Yes, Bema fufuro no ni na mami anyem na akwalai epiem. But mami no na wa wari obi. Santi akwalai ne de ne papa ewo. So the papa no a ote aware na se ba because of munja aware nti aware no legally ewo.
Sir.
Because you decide what is your status you won't say divorced. You say separated. Separation is not divorce, and therefore aware no ɛwɔ hɔ in a way. And now say you even say married, yes, say bibi na eden ekoso. Sa na etie dia akwala no yenim ne papa. Papa is not obi, and or the mao. We are not talking about students. So we are students there. Sa cry bi and cry no would dey cry bi a yetwem and I say we school into ewu. And oba no enso banya with what you don't have.
Okay.
So skilled workers so sir. But because you can skilled worker for one some any 3 months period no. And any conversation no. So our job my and the bema no a akwala no papa no any bema no a oti aware no ho legally ewo time ayewo akwala no.
Okay.
Unless say within that period no moja aware. So moja aware there before you be akwala no, of course it takes 9 months.
Yes.
Inti say adena start now you are going through this. No way initiate divorce proceedings. Now because someone krum her at least 1 year, he cannot initiate it in the UK.
Exactly.
Marriage was contracted abroad. Therefore, sir, with me enya divorce papers no abroad before akwala no yaba woni dia enya akwala no papa no any papa no a ohwe yinse no. So sa papa no ohwe yinse no o bi dia
never cover.
So or you British akwala no British citizen.
Okay.
Nya obaya no say obaya passport ama akwala no. So when definitely so akwala no British citizen.
Okay.
Obaya passport ama akwala no. Enti but so nibi but later no obenya bi dia that's a different conversation to register the child. But because short time space in it. Say you be a share say akwala no British citizen under section 1 of British Nationality Act and now say on British citizen no. You bet me tracy. You tracy no you confirm so a British citizen now. The child is a British citizen. So akwala no you British citizen now. The child will qualify under section 117D of the relevant statute. Yes, say akwala no you qualifying child. So akwala no you qualifying child then you can depend on this qualifying child to make your application as a parent of a qualifying British child or EU child.
Okay. Hey, yeti. Seni etie bia ekwan da ho. Ye nua be ma odi hye ba nana kwaku me dede. Hey, bra me te won ka che o si ebefa. Ebefa mpa. Yo, or the question be by it's for maybe a telephone line. I'm saying come on here. Maybe a telephone lines in the next 20 minutes. So oh question be bisa. Efa near ya ka ho anasempo eye bibi different still akwenya wo ho mano mumfre na Women's Day na eye numbers ne 0208123116 and I says 07399208468 sanso na embia na baby o wonu to me ja voice note mebo ama kama eye WhatsApp number ne so pe emfre na nja message wo voice mail your voice note WhatsApp so 07596620154 Mr. 07596620154 ubetumi eja message no ho mebo ama kama na lawyer ebisa lawyer yenkwe no obi ebisa question bi na mpese nka ofre na ochechire mu obisa say yenu abema audition ba. And I say, what about if they are siblings but not married people? Internet just say, or can say domestic violence, uniate. Audition mementi asemu na meka, but so want to say who fro based on the question of bisana. Obe to me a friend na we bisa na yehu emu ye. Say uni anu motifie na uni na ono so abuse na just say. Ubefia ebusia ofie na because also you're dependent on your papa na o mame na obi abuse ofie ho a also to me go through sa anyoma yimu ana eno na meaning say sana ye nua be modi sheba obisana enye saa de a mesrɛ wo mode ana frɛ 0208123116 na bisa question no na yɛnkɔ mebie telephone lines no yo lawyer enti no say that maybe no menim sɛ saa na ntiaseɛ ne ti a ana
I
wo
think we have to give him benefit of the doubt and respond to his concern.
okay.
The question was clear. Or say, it is not about partner, but a sibling.
Okay.
Nti ni nua no okofa ne baaye na ni nua no etietie no. Nti ye nua ode hye ba. I take you back to the law. And rather say dependent spouse. Dependent spouse, not dependent sibling. So the law will not cover this person.
Okay. Straightforward is straightforward. But when it comes to violence, domestic violence, family do na be go through be. But this case, no, where we are treating topic I can no dependent of say ukra na uyire anase bibi enti ubetumi afre lawyer yenko ye ni maybe telephone lines no mpacha ubetumi afre na wonso we bisa se wo friend so na minim se go through anase go through enko through ubetumi asend voice note e wo 07596620154 ne so na aye sometimes telephone line technically no ofra be say ringing so na enhye da emba system ne mo ye tanya bisa bebre na why odi hye ba yenso ye da ase se ohia nkoma ye di no se lawyer se ne o cheche mu no atowa so na weni age ho abomodia na frɛ lawyer e wo 07947 636037 frɛ lawyer Asmah na onene nka wasem nyina obi be ka kire me o se opamechopi odi ne kro no student dependent ne bisara na oyo bema ne yire no akọ school no owie anyame adom apply for 2 years no ama ya ma ne 2 years no 2 years nte se ya ne 2 years no ewu aka be 3 or 4 months bi em say 3 months na o ka se bewu se a o se ne kunu na ya ne dependent no o se on pe ne baby mfa no on pe ne biom lo Asmah obi say no ono so to me go question there me sure so tie na ono kra topic e ba ne na me de pa because obviously coincidence or there ha me anadwin sa last one obi say then ono so be
We have to establish the trigger. You see, your story is this. Nimpano, omatna, omwecha student, omwecha graduate route.
2 years so
Aka 3 months. 3 months na aka no a in some babano. You know who said they have issues.
That's right.
But
No, correct.
if that's the case, say Nippon to establish domestic violence and rather say because students no J independent no training and now on no call graduate route no so as a tag along dependent no. Of course, say at that point no domestic violence is here. Let's look at proving the case there. Then this will cover the person.
Now ono sa no obekọ you can say PL 5.1b ni so ana say ono ne de na obekọ straight to back no you can say indefinite ne de no so
Sanipa way no original visa no nya fi
student
nti
okay
obekọ original na so obekọ new one so
lawyer how dey me
it will be the new one.
It will be the new one because graduate route ne so.
Yes, so the point you are making is all those who will escalate to indefinite, should have been under appendix family life or appendix armed forces or appendix refugee status and so on and so forth. But who know would they students and skilled worker and new concession akava you don't have amnesty for indefinite.
Okay.
So the question is, what is the policy intent for start 3 months? What 3 months? So why will you give anybody 3 months?
Okay.
But is 3 months not better than nothing?
Kwata.
Yeah, it's better because within 3 months, you can explore your options within the law.
Okay.
We are not saying, say, private life live to remain. You ask the question, say, signing pan application ben obetumi aye. Now your response will be say, oh, signing pan way, so betumi prove say there is insurmountable obstacle as a result of domestic violence in the year. And there obetumi move after 3 months, to private life under PL 5.1B.
Business. Okay.
And now she says, signing pan way will go through treatment. Until 3 months now, so still our treatment no air so. But my application under leave outside the rules policy for extension of time to complete or to continue the treatment.
Okay.
Na aworije aba na we kweshia no dofo foforo no dofo no betumi agina atenam. Whether there is a child or no child. Because the argument you put you forward they say Santa Omaka ke mumieni na munko fie na munko ware wo na munko bomo bra e wo ho. But you can raise insurmountable obstacle argument. So obi a man go through domestic violence. Na aban wo kra wo ya aware wa boa me. I can even access benefits. So you have my case already. And you want me to go and maybe die. That is harsh. So if we can argue along those lines, then it's likely that Nippon will succeed. So worry, Nanikunu, Ernest Yuri, Ejino, Atinemu after 3 months in one. So those are the extension parameters for Omoa, Omobama, Omenya 3 months through provision.
Okay. Asmah, say, no call. Na obi the case be abramehwe nyina na mekan. Very funny, and I don't know how we can explore that. Answer na meka case no mesra mo ni demo. 0208123116 and 073 Lasma, edoso but marke mu na no. Ne tietie mu ne say. Bebo. Okay, ne tietie mu ne say. Asama ye ka ho asemi, domestic violence ye asemi. Enye eno in particular, but student foi somewhere bi na. Odi abetu menum sesi. Ne opa kire ne say. Nokre one ne yire go through or student student obema na oware oba oware ni ba na one ne ba krum ha we wie school ni mom na tama omo ba ye na no osi tama omo ba ye na na akasa no say ne yire no enko weja na ware enti oba ne be ye basa ewo krum a just first 3 months na so oba no okọ back because ne kru no ye dependent on ne kru ne ja no ama ye divorce ne frifie e de aba se weja no yo but gay ya nkọ ọdịnemu a na okoshia be maybe ehye ne nyensen emretiawe mu o ehye ne nyensen ana say ansa na 1 year ne bedu no na obayi wawo into omo worry 3-4 months na omo ja aware no nim 9 months na girl awo owo ye no divorce aba into obema foforo na one ne nyensen ye no na oye ma no ye ma akwala no akwala na British into oba na gina ne so enya 2.5 lawyers ma case ya mfa betu menim a nka menim se etumi sisa na me calculate date no so a me hu no kre no se ne etie but sa no mo ka no wa ware no wa ware no wa ya ma akwala no ama akwala na enya ma oba na gina akwala no so ma sesi oba no so hwe ne ba with sa 2.5 ibi o de hwe akwala no boy ya oye student wakochi mwa se na school no wanye nwie nti ono so ya ne santan oni nemu saa okohu ni yire da de ya ohun se kai akola we de wan hwe ye me ba boy ya fight ama sisi ade ni a kire se eye ne ba la Asmah o so obeje ne ba case sere ye bibi nso no ye real case ye de abetumi la Asmah obi say den obeye den how eye possible mpo
ne ba no anasa ne a olusu ne ba no
ne oyu ne girl no ne ofoforo no ne konye me ye oye ma akra na ye British no omo wo ho nanso okunu dada na oye student na wanko school na ode atete jai girl yi eno akohu akwala no akra ne munyin we akohu no we hu se kaish akra yi de oseme dodo enti wakofitiri mu anu akohu de ni se eye ne ba enti eye ne ba no se obeje ne ba ana obegina akwala no so e de nya bibi la Asmah eye possible mpo ana.
Okay. So first, nya papa we enka papa B. Nya papa B can say papa A is not the father.
Sir.
Because of nya papa B aye no a wetumi proving the case na yaja akwala na amaninti. Status akwala ni nya fi papa A ho no is not valid. Because papa B bad there, why do you derive benefit from papa A? Under section 1 of the British Nationality Act, saying, say, at the time of my birth, my father was a British citizen. So I am a British citizen. And what I'm saying is that Akolano lose the status.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole thing. Because what it means is that, but for some mistake, you know, Akolano be.
Okay.
Let's see a year who say Akolano and Nanke, ni say the man no. Should we still leave it unless I say Jifinism?
Hey, where do you go?
Yeah, there was one case I did. Akolano was a British citizen from a different father, or for a different father. Let me put it that way. The new father, no Papa B, no, claimed the child through DNA and a court.
Okay.
Then they cancelled Akolano passport, you know, and the citizenship because Akolano cannot be a default British citizen under Section 1 of the British Nationality Act.
Okay.
That Akolano need be. And see, the acquirer said, Papa no, now or no, ewo such now Akolano anya 10 years. Ewo UK. So the application Emma Akolano based on the private life as a child born, bred in the UK literally, and now 10 years.
Okay.
The register Akolano and no registration certificate. And now your passport for Eba Akolano.
Okay.
Then we had to explain the change. Because what your application maybe said, is this a new passport or a renewed passport or a replacement? You have to state it. Will you say a new passport or replacement passport? Per this argument, you know, a new passport.
New passport.
Then be said, do you have previous passport? Will you say yes or no? You say yes. Then the question will be, then why are you coming for another passport if it is not a renewal or replacement? Then you set out the reasons, the context, to make it clearer. So it was issued by the mistake because Home Office for trouble by passport for trouble by Sakolano, your British citizen. The passport, you know, is no longer valid.
Lawyer made that say, but case no emodo say ni American no nti no mesre wo na kohun lawyer because me very sure say ni a open no minim ba law no betumi akire bibi ama na benefit in one way or the other nti no bomode na kohun lawyer bomode betumi afre lawyer Charles see a ye bewie program na ma no be 20-30 minutes bi no fam pension gu ne mremu na fe wa frɛ 07947 thank you. 0794763 6037. Bomodia na free lawyer because questions now was our trouble be been make us make your program no ye and to just go and see the lawyer na canning in a treno near who papa be na one so ye British now who names are colani ya wodia minim so wa worry or bano so won't worry and questions ne doors wado don't but modia mummy no nyina momfa akwala no ne oba no monko na monko hu lawyer Asmah na obehwe mo nyina mo case ni yie na baabi se ye de to no na ye de ato ama mo nyina manya ho mfaso obema na after all wo no wo a wo British no unni case a you've got nothing to lose say akwala na ya wo na wa hwe no na ebe ha oba no so ne wenya no obema dada no de no betumi. It's a whole complicated issue. Sisi amema akwenya ama meni aba lawyer Annie na onfa the English version of today's program. Non family to Ghana for the sorry and answer. Thank you. You are welcome, my dear sister.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So, yeah, I'll just be providing a summary for today. So, we looked at the new domestic violence provisions, specifically relating to students and care worker dependents. So, we looked at the guidance that was recently published for Home Office staff, that was published on the 31st of January 2024. And the main change that has taken place is that students and economic migrants can now apply for domestic violence destitution applications. So initially they couldn't do it, but now students and economic migrants can apply under this provision. So to begin with, what constitutes domestic violence? So the word domestic in itself insinuates that it's taking place at home behind closed doors, and there are various types of abuse that someone can experience. So we have, for example, physical violence, whereby someone is actually being physically hurt, they're being scratched, beaten. We can also have psychological abuse, such as mind games, blackmail. Charles provided a good example. For example, if someone is married to a British citizen, and they came here because of that spouse, and the British citizen keeps kind of telling them that they will return them back to where they belong or where they're coming from. So that is all part of mind games and blackmail. Someone can experience sexual abuse, so rape. There's financial abuse, emotional abuse. So there's quite a few of types of abuse that someone can go through. So today we looked at who is eligible to apply for settlement under Appendix Victim of Domestic Abuse. So first of all, if you came to the UK as a spouse with intention to settle, then you can apply. You would be eligible. So this means that you have to be a spouse. You need to be married to the other person. So you shouldn't be a fiance, for example. If you came as a partner of someone with refugee status, the provisions would apply to you as well. If you came as an applicant of someone who has indefinite leave to remain, it would apply to you as well. So we looked at basically if you are eligible to apply under Appendix Victim of Domestic Abuse, you will have 3 months basically to apply for leave to remain. So this is a short period of permission to stay independent from the person that you were initially relying on. So this 3 month period will give you the time to switch. So you would be able to switch or to apply rather for indefinite leave to remain as a victim of domestic abuse, and you will also have access to public funds during this period. So it's important that as an applicant, you're able to show that your relationship broke down because of domestic violence. So we looked at the evidence that you would provide along with your application. So if you experienced, actual bodily harm, you can, if you have been to a GP, you can rely on the GP's medical report. So the medical report would, state, well, what you've been through, the type of harm that has been caused on you, if you have been to any type of shelters, that too, you can ask them to provide letters to confirm that you have been there. Or if you have spoken to any type of professional, for example a pastor or someone in the mosque, they too can basically put it in writing just to help with your application. And if you have experienced, for example, emotional harm and you have been to counseling or therapy, you can also rely on reports from those professionals. And if you have been living with friends because you have tried to get away from your spouse who has been abusing you, and you've been living with friends, you can ask your friends or family to provide you with letters to confirm that indeed they have been providing you with accommodation. And if your partner has, any criminal convictions for domestic violence, or they have received any police cautions, or you have in the past applied for any protection orders specifically for domestic violence, you can rely on all of those to help with your application. So that is just a quick summary for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Yeah, kind of saying, yeah, dwumadie no nyinaa yɛbɛda ase. So abɔ ne tɔfa wɔ pɔtɔ kasa no mu ama yɛn, the English version of it. Thank you so much, lawyer Annie. Afei yɛde dwumadie no ɛbɛwie yɛmmerɛ ne koraa ɛkɔ. Nti no mɛbisa lawyer Asmah wɔ last words bi anaa biribi a ɔde bɛdwa yɛn na wɔtwe mu ansa na nyame yɛ adom ɔkyena yɛasan ahyia. Lawyer Asmah mpatwɔ.
Yo, etiefo ne ahwɛfoɔ ɛndɛ ebisa yɛn ho asɛm baako pɛ sɛ mmara no a aban de aba sɛ ɛfa domestic violence ho no a ɛbɛboa student dependent ɛne skilled worker dependent no mmara no nea ɛwɔ mu no ne sɛn na kwan bɛn so ɛna wobɛfa na dɛn na wobɛnya efi mu. Nti mmara no nyinaa ne sɛ domestic violence nsisi ɛnyɛ wɔn a ɔmo de 2.5 efi outside aba entry clearance anaasɛ ɔmo nya wɔ ha pɛ na mmom student foɔ no so a ɔmo wɔ ha as dependent nso no ɛbɛkaba wɔn na skilled workers dependent foɔ no so a ɔmo wɔ ha no so ɛbɛkaba wɔn na mmom ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo prove sɛ ɔmo go through saa domestic violence no ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo de evidence a yɛabobɔ so no ɛba na ɔmotumi edi adanseɛ sɛ saa na ɛteɛ. One idea I sometimes you can't the sexual side now. So we be man now or your bema, but now or deny oba no sex. And that's all your bar no deny bema no sex. And then now no your violence no ebi no. And there are some which are covert, some which are overt. But when I be who say about to me akane na abom na we make you a case for nia open say wujina so no. Enti saa na mmara no kan mmara no say wobetumi approve case na aban ba ma 3 months nti 3 months yɛ de ma wa wobɛyɛ independent of saa nipa no a ɔde wo baayɛ no nti wonyɛ dependent biom na mbom wo 3 months a wode bɔ bra the same time wobetumi nso enya benefit a wobetumi di edidi sɛ nkwalaa wo mu a wobetumi de aboa wo ba no nso unless now within that 3 months no necessary no is entirely up to you. Emrano enka what you can do, but you have to know what to do after 3 months no. So this is what is in the rule and this is what you get. So we yes our application no ekoma abaya.
Yo, lawyer Asmah, yɛbɛda ase. Tiefoɔ na ahwɛfoɔ aha na nyame ama yɛ adom na yɛde dwumadie no aba ewie. Megye de sɛ wonya wo kyɛfa wɔ mu sɛnea etie biara no frɛ office hɔ na bɔ mmɔden na bisa wo question anaasɛ how a ɛha no bɔ mmɔden na fa kɔto ɔmo anim ɔmbɛtumi edi ho dwuma de ama wo. Mede ane Manye Ten. Megye de sɛ sɛnea woate na woanya mo enimdeɛ no share to other people. No mo nso mo hu. So wo ba so na ye we ni gya, like the page my like the page my na subscribe to our channel no nso se na be ya de bia e benya akwanya no na ye di sa adwumadi asa abro media no manye timi ma mo nyina a very happy weekend and then happy Women International Day. Ebio, bye bye.
Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced family law firm specializing in immigration and naturalization, as well as dispute resolution. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner with over 30 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stand for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity and inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance across all areas of UK and Ghana law. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Led by experienced senior partner Bernard Owusu, the team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with your immigration, naturalization, dispute resolution, family law, new wills and probate, Ghana law and practice needs. We are dedicated to providing solutions to our clients' problems. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Main office line 0208 493 7340 or our emergency line 07712 761 884.